Congratulations to them to even making this broadcast stage. Speaking of restrictions, there are restrictions for these teams. Let's have a look at the teams that are being used today. Let's kick it off with Bundle's Collin's team to see how he is lining up for tonight's competition. Aggie, talk me through this team because, as you know, there's a number of restrictions in it, and I'm sure, hopefully, when that full team of the year drops, we'll see a different restriction when new names can appear. Talk to me through this team. What do you like? What don't you like? And I mean, it's a great team, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pretty standard build team in terms of like with the restrictions for now. I like the way he linked Cristiano Ronaldo with Cuadrado and obviously having Bruno Fernandes linked with Rashford. So not too many surprises here. That Walker centre-back card is extremely good as well. I have him myself. I actually thought that we were going to see a lot of 5-3-2 formations in this weekend, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a 5 at the back formation. So I'm curious to see what we're going to see.
Yeah, and on the other side of that, we got, of course, non-esports Neissat's side. Again, an interesting one. He's loving these Champions League items in there. Zakaria gets the nod. Klosterman, of course, Alphonso Davies, soon to be that team of the year. Alphonso Davies, when it is released into the game. Lena out in a right back. Aggie, talk to me through this team. A lot of Bundesliga players in it.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially the Zakaria CDM card down as a centre-back. I'm not sure if he's going to switch him up with Vieira maybe in-game. I also feel like it's very interesting with the right-back card. I think it's a Limer foot freeze card, which is interesting. But that's for the chemistry, obviously. And then I'd love to see the two Ronaldos as the strikers, probably for Neissat.
Yeah, and amazing. Those options on the bench as well, the likes of Kleber and the headliner James Tavernier on the bench for all of these players. A number of restrictions have to be followed. Let's not forget that for these guys to use in the tournament. But here they are on your screen. Of course, respectively, Collin out in the Netherlands and Noms Neissat out in Israel. I mean, just a quick word on both of these competitors, Agger, as we said. Two new names. We've seen Neissat qualify for an event back in FIFA 20. That was FUT Champions Cup. Number 5, I believe. But new names appearing. It's not really a surprise, is it? As esports is getting bigger for FIFA, there's more tournaments, there's more prize money on the line, and naturally, more people want to get involved and more people want to play.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brandon. It's pretty obvious to me that FIFA esports is getting bigger and bigger, and therefore we will have more and more competition. So it's going to be interesting to see these two young players showing off their talent because this is the biggest stage you can get to and the biggest scene.
Of course, we don't know who is Neissat from right to left in this one. Of course, speaking of non-esports, they've had a couple of big names on their books, Israeli and FIFA players, that is. Roy Feldman comes to mind, one of those big names. Here comes Bundle Collin now looking to take the deadlock in this one, and he will, near enough, get so close, just wide off that right-hand post, and Petacek able to say goodbye to that one. It will be a goal kick. But speaking of Neissat, a player you probably know quite well, Agger, does play for Australis. It's Roy Feldman, another Israeli player that's come through the ranks in recent years. And as I said, he actually had a spell at non-esports. I think it was back in FIFA 19, FIFA 20, when he went on like a mad playoff run.
Yeah, definitely. Roy is a pioneer in Israel and probably showed the way for a lot of the players we are seeing going forward in the FIFA Global Series. And before we just have a huge chant for Neissat, but you have to convert it. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be interesting to see the new patch here. How does it affect the players? They can't really perform the step overs as much because it's been nerfed a little bit. So they have to find other solutions, Brandon.
Yeah, and again, if you are at home thinking it's a little bit laggy, the gameplay, of course, this is a full remote broadcast. I'm at home, Agger's at home. These pro players are at home in their respective countries. So we are going to get that sorted for you again. If it is a little bit choppy and laggy, we'll keep you up to date with everything as it does go in. But bear with us, guys. This is a remote FIFA 21 Global Series season. Qualifiers taking place all over the world. I'm sure you've been following them closely, whether it's in East Asia, North America, and of course this is qualifier number 2 in Europe. You are watching. We've got a weekend full of FIFA for you. Of course, today we'll have the Xbox players, tomorrow we'll have our PlayStation players, and I think one thing that we will touch upon, Agger, is how difficult and how hard it is to qualify for these tournaments, because you look across the board for today and tomorrow, there's only one name that has re-qualified, and of course that's Adriman over at Dux Gaming. Other than that, I mean, there's players that have come close. Dylan Mike came so close in Qualifier 1 to making it to the broadcast. This time round, he's made it to the broadcast. But I don't think we'll see many people that will be a repeated qualifier, Aga, just because of how tough it is this year. Look, there's only 6 names that get to the broadcast itself. Out of, we're talking 1,000 on the PlayStation 4 and 700-800 on the Xbox. So really stacked, really difficult. Could be a chance here. Back to goal for Bundle Collin. It's Neymar interchanging very, very well. We'll get that gameplay sorted for you as soon as we can. But just on that, Aga, it's very difficult, isn't it, to qualify this year, especially for those broadcasts?
Yeah, definitely, Brandon. I mean, with so much talent in every region in the FIFA Global Series, it's always going to be very, very hard. You have to win very, very many games against very good players. You need the margins, you need to hit the form, you need to peak at the right time. And these guys have done it. And now they're coming to this stage here where, yeah, they need to find an extra gear because there are 5 other competitors here who've done the same as them, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly that. And of course, you are just tuning in tonight. This is qualifier number 2 in Europe. It's a 2-legged game of FIFA. It will decide, of course, who books a place in the tournament. We must also touch upon that this is a loser matchup. So whoever loses this, unfortunately, will be out of the broadcast and out of qualifier number 2 here. Remember, they won't be going home empty-handed. They will take home some prize money, some Global Series ranking points. Could be a chance back to goal here for Collin. Well defended at the back. As I said, we will get that gameplay sorted for you as best we can. Fully remote broadcast. Of course, players playing out in the Netherlands and in Israel. Looking across the board at some of our other competitors in here tonight. We've got Greasy, Mino, GS Musty, FC St. Pauli from Germany. And going across the board there, even more names, making this a stacked roster. Dylan Mike of Germany. And, of course, Team Neo, someone that's been at a FIFA World Cup Grand Final in the past. He'll be in action a little bit later. Ex-Optole from Sweden and Gothenburg, another name coming through Scandinavia. I'll get Aga's thoughts on that a little bit later on in the broadcast. 35 minutes gone here. Still 0-0 and still waiting to find the ultimate breakthrough. You'll see one of these two take the lead. At the moment, not too much to call about. Bundle Collin trying to knock on that door. If not, Neissat, can he try and find a way through that CDM partnership of Bruno Fernandes and Vieira? Speaking of Bruno Fernandes, what is it about Bruno Fernandes this year, Aggie, that makes him a viable CDM? Because it seems like pros love to use him in that sort of defensive midfield area.
Yeah, Bruno is a very good box-to-box player, and he has the agility, he has the weak foot, he has the skill move, he has the passing display, and at the same time he has the stamina. And most importantly, I think, is that he links to Cristiano Ronaldo and to Premier League players, which is essential because you want Cristiano Ronaldo in your team, regardless of who your midfield is. And the majority of the players like to play with Vieira as the defensive midfielder, and then you need perhaps a partner to him who offers a bit more going forward. And Bruno is the perfect match there. And for now, both players have been knocking on the door.
Nearly a breakthrough though, wasn't it? Petr had to go down to ground. A minute left plus additional time in front of us. 0-0 between these two in our first game of the day. One of our loser bracket matches. You lose this, you will be out of the competition. Speaking of Neissat, I'll have a look at his run in a minute in the tournament he's had. He's had an unbelievable run, that loser bracket. There you go, half time between these two. 0-0 is the scoreline, Aga. Nothing really to talk about as such. A 0-0 scoreline. A couple of chances either end, but both players just trying to feel each other out at the moment, so it seems.
Yeah, I think Neissat would be a little bit annoyed about he didn't convert that first chance. That was a 100% clear chance. He had to score on that and take the lead. But otherwise than that, I feel like Collin started to work his way into the game and took the advantage pretty much. Was knocking on the door most of the times. Had the possession, it seemed. So, yeah, pretty tight match. Not much to separate from these two players right now.
Yeah, nothing to separate these two at the moment. As we jump back into the second half, we will get that gameplay issue sorted for you guys as soon as we can. Of course, fully remote broadcast this year and for the season in the Global Series. We've been doing so well to get tournaments out to you guys week after week across all of the world in all our regions. They are part of the Global Series this year. It's all about getting to the playoffs, whether it's in East Asia, whether it's out in Oceania, North America, Europe, South America, the list goes on. Get to the playoffs and then look towards a grand final spot. These players that are in the top 6 have guaranteed themselves some huge and, more importantly, vital Global Series ranking points. So look across the board here. You look at Neissat, 15th he sits in the Global Series rankings. I know we're a little bit early into the season, but a rough prediction from you, Aga. How many points would you say is safe for a Global Series spot? I know what's his qualifier number 2. We've still got qualifier 3, 4 and 5 to come up in front of us. We know leagues are really important this year as well in terms of giving spots out, whether that's E-Superliga, E-Premier League, the list goes on. Just a rough number, Aga, you think off the top of your head that could be enough for a Global Series playoff spot?
I think it's very hard to predict. I will say around 1,000 points should secure you for sure. I think Neissat, regardless of how it goes for him today, I think he will be fine for the playoffs. Yeah, it's looking good for him no matter what, and consistency is rewarding. And yeah, we'll see that for Neissat. Perhaps he can do something here.
Might have a chance to get the ball around the corner of Mbappe. Klosterman at the back for him. An interesting Bundesliga backline for Neissat. And it isn't just Neissat making noise out in Israel at the moment. There's another man that deserves a little mention. That'll be Yuval Belli, currently 8th series rankings from Israel. Lovely chance. This could be that game. It will be for Neissat. It's Neymar that makes his name heard in the Global Series. You saw that tweet for him that Jimmy and the rest of the guys were showing. A player that he would have wanted in that team of the year. He's in his team, funny enough. And finally, Aga, we have a breakthrough. 63 minutes on the clock. Neissat leads by a goal to 0 here in Europe.
And this time he's clinical and doing the exact right thing when he gets the free run with a through ball. He makes the ball roll and dribbles past the goalkeeper, and it's a 100% goal. Nice execution from Neissat.
We do finally have a breakthrough in our first game of the day today. Said on social media he was a little bit disappointed that Neymar didn't make the frame in that starting 11 for Team of the Year. Speaking of Bruno Fernandes as well, another chance could be on here actually for Cristiano Ronaldo. Trying to just tease that back line of bundled Collin. Looking for that cut back into the likes of Marcus Rashford, into Bruno Fernandes. Vieira there will try and link up in a triangle as best they can. I'm sure a number of you would have seen the price tag on that Team of the Year, Cristiano Ronaldo. 7-8 million depending on your console, maybe a bit more, maybe a little bit less, as more people get their hands on him and he becomes more desirable for so many players. Aga, if you could pick one of those 3 Team of the Year forwards, probably going to guess it's going to be Mbappe or Ronaldo. Is it Ronaldo that takes your money?
I'll go with Cristiano Ronaldo for sure. Just follow this nice defending by Collin. We can see in Neissat is really trying with all his repertoire with the manual bridge, the bridge, elasticos, shooting feints. Yeah, it has a lot of way to open up the defense, and perhaps he can do it again here.
He's just offside. A little bit too keen there. Linesman caught in 15 minutes before the end of our first leg here. 2-legged game of FIFA. You've got to win to stay in the tournament. You lose, you will be on your way out of the competition. It could be fine a second for Neymar. He's in a lot of space. He's the man that did break the deadlock for him. 63 minutes on the clock. Neymar still looking to find a way through. Remember, he's got R9 in that box, who's a very good option. Not many players have that luxury of having R9 in the team. He costs you so many coins, and I don't think he's in your team, Aga, is he?
No, he's not on my team. But yeah, as you said, Brandon, Team of the Year Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm not sure if I will be able to afford him, but I will sell my entire club almost just to get him. I think his card will be amazing, and definitely a player we're going to see when the restrictions allow you to play with him.
Yeah, just a couple of minutes left of our first game here. We will try and get that gameplay issue sorted for you guys to make it a little bit of a smoother viewing experience for everybody at home. Thank you very much to everyone that has tuned in this evening. As we said, we've got a weekend full of FIFA esports action here in Europe. Matches on the Xbox today, plenty of them. We'll jump over to the PlayStation tomorrow. 5 minutes left. Is he going to be onside, Neymar? No, he has just been about onside. Into R9. It's got to be 2. It will be 2 for Neissat. The Israeli and FIFA pros hit the ground running on FIFA 21. 2 goals to the good with 4 minutes left in this game. And a 2-goal cushion in your first game on your first ever broadcast for this year. It's got to give you some serious confidence, Aga.
Yeah, that's a big boost for Neissat, just to get that one more goal, taking off a bit of the pressure. And I like the way he's been very good at finding Neymar on the wing and then cut it in. And this time he actually succeeds with it and finds R9, and it's a free goal, and maybe he'll get one more now.
He could maybe get one more if Ronaldo can find a way past. One Quadrado at the back there. It's R9. Can he call? And still is just about in possession. Added time to follow just a minute. And I think that will do us for leg number 1. Back to the drawing board for bundled Collin, unfortunately. He's going to be 2 goals down. Long ball forward. He's going to get, for a split second, he's going to just get Manuel Neuer out of position. The ball goes out of play, and that will be leg 1 concluded here in our first game of the day. Again, we do apologise for that slightly laggy feed. We will get that sorted for you. Remember, everyone is at home this year in the Global Series broadcast. So do bear with us when we stamp that issue out. But that's leg 1 concluded of your loser quarter-final. Neissat leads by 2 goals to 0. And Aga is someone that's been in competitions and someone that has been to big matches. I'll come back and get your thoughts on that in just a second. Something else that I need to get your attention on, everybody at home, is the Madden NFL 21 Championship Series. It kicks off back again on the 28th and the 29th of January this month. And of course, the Madden NFL 20 final, 32 NFC Division Finals will be underway. Watch the final 32 Madden competitors repping their teams in the biggest Madden tournament of the year, competing for a share of $750,000, ladies and gentlemen. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you do fancy some Madden action, head over to Twitch TV/EA Madden NFL, or you can go over to YouTube and type in Madden Competitive Gaming to catch that one go underway. Of course, a big tournament there, $700. But Aga, just to get your thoughts on that leg 1, as I was saying, you've been to competitions, you've been to World Cup finals in your time as well, and hopefully maybe a couple more in the future. 2-0 in a 2-legged game. How big is that for you? First game on the broadcast for the competitive year. That's got to give you some confidence, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it gave Neissat a big relief to just get that extra goal. Means that Collin have to work even harder to get back. It's definitely not over yet. A lot of things can still happen. But it's a punch in the stomach for Collin to concede a late one, to make the job even harder for him in order to make this comeback. I'll say Neissat was very good at isolating Neymar on the wing, and then it became a bit of a guessing game. Will he cut back, or will he try to find R9 inside the box? And he succeeded with that, so Collin have to be more aware with his manual controlling of his wing backs.
Yeah, it was an interesting game, to be honest. There was 2 goals in it. We know that his love for Neymar is quite big. We saw it on social media. He wanted him in that team of the year, and of course, it was the other Brazilian that scored that second goal. It was R9 Ronaldo, 94 R9 Ronaldo. Just something about him, isn't there, Aga? When we are used to commentating and going to those Foot Champions Cups in person, where you can use those EA Sports esports accounts, where you can have any icon at any level, the prime icon moments, the primes. He's always in everyone's team because he's such a valuable asset to any team. He scores so many goals, positioning's brilliant. The 5-star weak foot, as we know, is you can't really put a price on that. And as we saw for the first time tonight, he's back on the score sheet, R9. He's just so good.
Yeah, you can always rely on him to score goals. If it's left foot or right foot, it doesn't really matter. He has the 5-star weak foot, he has the 5-star skill move. He's also strong, he's quick, he turns pretty fast. I'll see a lot of players also use Pele. I think we'll see him, the 95 Pele as well. But with the restrictions, it's always going to be interesting which player they prefer. And for Neissat, R9 is doing the job.
Yeah, he certainly is. A 2-goal cushion before we jump into that second leg as soon as it is ready. What's got to change for Collin, though, Aga? First ever major EA Sports event we've seen him at. 18 years of age from the Netherlands. Of course, signed for bundled esports. What a pickup. Once again, they have got there. They've got another pro in action tomorrow as well. What's he got to do? Is it a case of changing anything before coming into this second leg, or keep it the same and score an early goal? Because an early goal is going to be huge for him.
I think he needs to trust his game style still a bit. It looked like he played the 4-4-2, which Neissat also did, or the 4-2-2, and he needs to trust that. That what brought him here. That was his game style, so he shouldn't change that. It's not like he's behind with a lot of goals. So I would say he needs to trust his own abilities and his plan A. And if it doesn't work, obviously have to change some things up. Maybe switch to a narrow diamond or a more aggressive formation. But he needs to be aware first and foremost not to concede anymore, because I feel like Neissat quite convincingly was able to isolate Neymar on the wing and cut in, and you cannot allow him to do that in the second match if you want to win.
Yeah, and of course, remember, if he scores one more goal, Neissat, that's a 3-goal cushion. And yeah, that wouldn't be a pretty sight. But let's turn our attention to the Team of the Year. I'm sure everyone has got an opinion on that still. It was released yesterday, the 11 players, but only the 3 strikers or the 3 forwards. Their ratings were revealed. Aga, we spoke about and in the team, but on Team of the Year, are you happy with it overall? Is there anyone that you thought maybe could have been in that team that you voted for in your personal selection?
Yeah, I would say I have to back Jimmy up here with, if I had to watch, as a football fan, I'd love to see Messi on the team perhaps instead of Mbappe. But FIFA-wise, I'm very happy that Mbappe is there. Otherwise, a Neymar Team of the Year would also be very spicy. But to be honest, I would love to have all 3 players. But if I had to go with one, I'll go with Cristiano Ronaldo. You just know what you get, and that's goal, strength, presence. But Mbappe, I wouldn't mind either. And Lewandowski, a bit hard to link. But I'll still gladly take him if I could pack him, but I won't, unfortunately.
I'm sure there's a couple of people out there in the community as well that have been saying that Mbappe's dyed his hair for Team of the Year. I don't know if that is the case, but Mbappe also in Team of the Year. Robert Lewandowski scored so many goals in the year of 2020. And if you did pack one of these players, you were lucky enough to pack one, of course, give us a tweet at EA FIFA Esports, hashtag FGS21, or maybe you got a favourite in today's tournament. I just want to have a word with you, Aga, on the sort of storylines that we're seeing this weekend. Is that there's a lot of new names coming through in the competitive scene, a lot of young names coming from the competitive scene. What changes? Because this year, everyone's from home, as we know. No one's going to those LAN events as before, where it is a different environment. How different is it playing from home for so much money and in front of so many eyes?
It's a different world, to be honest. I mean, it's definitely, I feel like, helpful for a lot of players because you will feel the pressure a bit more playing at LAN events, at live events. But also now you can see, things are going to be decisive. We're here at the broadcast, and eventually it feels in some ways like a LAN event because the focus is on them only now. They need to perform now, and that's where like experience comes, and that's why it's going to be interesting to see the more routine players as Mino and Dolan Mike, who've been here many times before, against the new generation with the aspiring players who doesn't seem afraid or feel like they're under pressure. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how Collin reacts to this, and at the same time also how Neissat is going to try to keep the lead and stay composed and calm.
Well, there you go. You can see it on your screen. We have some nice, crisp gameplay for you in this second leg. If you have just tuned in, make sure you stay tuned in. We are underway for this second leg now. It is Neissat from left to right with a 2-goal advantage in this game. Bundled Collin needs to find 2 goals if he wants to even take this to an extra time scenario, or if he wants to score more than that and go the full way to turn the match around here. An early goal is everything, as Aga's said, and of course I'll fully agree with him on it. Has to score an early goal to give himself any chance back in this game. Both teams very, very different. On the side of Neissat, it's a Bundesliga back 4, and of course, and the goalkeeper Emmanuel Doyer there. Not your usual defensive line. No Varane, no Mendy. I'm sure a couple of people out there will be happy to see. There is a goal back, though, for Bundled Collin. I believe he has just turned to celebrate that as we just jumped into his game feed. And there you go. I think that is a goal back from him. What an early goal it was, Aga. What do we say? He had to score an early goal.
Collin can play it in central. He score. So the ideal we really have a match.
Yeah, perfect start for Collin after, of course, it was so important for him to get into this tie. Now Neissat looking to reply straight away. It's Ronaldo dancing in and around the box. A couple of ball rolls, step overs, everything's coming out from Ronaldo. Nazario still in possession. Look how good that close control dribbling is from the icon that everybody wants in their team. A word on Neissat, I should say. Had an unbelievable run in the loser bracket to get to this stage. I mean, look at the names he beat, Aga. We spoke about this before the broadcast started. He played against Olli Liitso, massive name in the scene. Of course, still getting to that stage, any of the competitors is a huge achievement. It's a 4-2 win against Olli Liitso in the losers round 1. Losers round 2 went up against ECR7, who had some unbelievable pack luck yesterday. Not a team of the year for him, but an icon to his name. Does go down to ground their name. Our referee, we're playing on. I think we are. Yes, he is. The referee says no, that will not be a penalty. Back to goal. Could be a chance, and then we'll carry on with that story from in the box. Zakaria, if you just can get him getting that far. Super proud of as shot comes in. Easy day in the end for Manuel Neuer.
And I must say, I really enjoy watching that Zakaria card as the centre back. He's done brilliant so far. Fast guy, strong guy, good interceptions. Yeah, really interesting to see this Bundesliga back line.
Yeah, and usually a very, very decent CDM, let alone centre back, as many FIFA pros chop and change. They put players in their own positions. They are the ones that get to the side at the end because they've tried and they've tested all these players in so many different possessions. But it just seems like Collin has started this game as a completely different player. He has been on top, no doubt about it. Just trying to find a way through this Neissat back line. Cristiano now, the lovely bridge finish from the Israeli and from EA SPORTS. The bridge touch made the goal, and the finish was even better from Cristiano Ronaldo. Game back on Aga, and a 2-goal advantage back in the favour of Neissat.
It was very, very good response from Neissat after Collin really started out dominating this game. And we see the bridge, how good it is when you execute it right. It goes from 0 to 100 in a few seconds. And it's an easy goal for him after he performed the bridge so well. And Collin just need to pause it up and perhaps make some small changes, because now he has to chase even more again. And as long as the result is as it is, it's going to be tough for him. He need an extra goal to put some pressure on Neissat and make him feel the nerves.
Yeah, most definitely indeed. It's a really important goal, one that I'm sure will be overlooked by many. To get yourself back into that tie of a 2-goal cushion just gives you a little bit of breathing space, a little bit of room to relax into the match. And as we said, that man has had ice in his veins. He has not been able to lose a game in the loser bracket. Many people have went through that winners bracket side, including Collin, I should say. Got to the winners semi-final, had that second chance in him. That is the benefit on the winners side of the bracket. You do sort of get a second chance from dropping down to that loser bracket. He never had a second chance, and he's had to win and win and win and win. And right now, it looks like he's going to continue that run again. Of course, whoever wins this game will then go into that loser final to wait for either Mino or Musti. They're from Germany, and of course, so FC St. Pauli, another German player coming through the scenes. 9 minutes before the break here. And 3-1. EA SPORTS' very own Neissat14 leads by 3-1. A really important goal from Ronaldo. The bridge touch made it. And Ronaldo let rip into that top left-hand corner. And Neymar trying to break down the defence in the end of Varane, and Varane able to get rid of it in the end. But that bridge touch, Aga, very, very effective this year. Many pros obviously using it, and you can understand why.
Different methods of doing this bridge. There's the manual bridge where you just push it a little bit forward and you get the acceleration, and then you have just the, like to call, as we saw from Neissat before, which is also super overpowered, and feels like it's the since it came a few days ago. A new, different ways of getting into to the goal chances, since the step overs have been nerfed other ways, which is the bridge. And yeah, as we can see, it's the halftime now.
Yeah, and as the game, of course, will go through different patches over the year, Agger. It's all about adapting as a FIFA player. We often see it in many. It's been FIFA 20, FIFA 19. Peak at different times as they get used to the game. I mean, in terms of your opinion, what's the skill move that you've really been enjoying using this year on FIFA 21?
I like the step overs, like to perform. I think was essential to do. But after that, I really like the manual bridge, and obviously I also really enjoy the ball wall scoop, as we have seen a lot, especially from Neissat. And then the it's one of the best skill moves this year, especially in the box. Super hard to defend.
Yeah, such a really important skill move, if you can do it right and get the timing on it as well. Can be really, really important. 1-1 the scoreline in this game, but a 2-goal cushion at the moment is the difference between these two. You lose this, you go home, you're out of qualifier number 2. And it will be back to the drawing board for qualifier number 3. If it's your first time watching a Global Series broadcast, it's all about getting yourself to the playoffs. Those playoffs will take place sort of May, June time. There's 5 qualifiers on the build-up to those playoffs. It's all about getting yourself in there. Ronaldo is just dancing his way through the defence, and what a finish from Neissat to stay that composed, and just the combinations. There's a hill-to-hill in there, a couple of step-overs. Fantastic composure in the final third, and that's a 3-goal cushion, August Rosemeyer. Surely we're seeing someone book their place into the loser final right now.
Yeah, that could be the game there from Neissat. It's an amazing goal, combining different skill moves and stay composed and make Collin commit. And Collin is definitely committing now. He has to go all-out attack, as we can see. Look like a 3-4-2-1 formation, which means that he has to put everything forward. And I like this, that he's taking consequences early now, because it really doesn't matter if he concedes more goals now. It's just about trying to get back into the game. So if he loses with 3 goals or with 6, he just have to try to get back.
It's one of those, me and Richard always talk about normally in commentary. It's one of those, you either sit back and say, you know what, I'll lose this game. If I score a goal, I score a goal and nothing more. Or you go for the game. You've got this far in the tournament. You've made it to your first ever broadcast. Yes, you're down by 3 goals, but it's a case of go for a 3 at the back. Get that depth up. Get that constant pressure up. What, you got 13 game minutes left. Yes, your players are probably going to tire and your stamina is going to fall quite heavily, but you've got to go for it. The question is, has bundled Collin got enough left in the tank to go for this game? A couple of changes for either of these two. We'll report on them as we see them on the screen. But Neissat making his organisation and his country proud. A brilliant start for him after an unbelievable run in this loser bracket. And he's not done yet. Bundled Collin needs a goal now. Lovely idea around the corner. Back to Cristiano Ronaldo. Just got a foot. Did Klosterman. Really good tackle. It's a case now for Neissat. See out the game. There you go. The depth's going to be so high. There's going to be gaps that will appear in behind Neymar. Did he need that extra ball roll? I don't think he did. It just put him off balance, and the pass was not great into the path of Cristiano Ronaldo, who, in all honesty, could have seen out the game there, Aga.
Yeah, he could have. This is the consequence you have to accept, bundled Collin, that there's going to be gaps, there's going to be space for the counter-attacks. You have to take risks now with his centre-backs, and Neissat will try to take advantage of that. But on the other hand, Collin needs a goal soon in order to try to turn this game around, because Neissat, he's been great offensively, but what impressed me the most has been his defensive. It's been really, really, really structured, solid. Haven't really made any mistakes.
To sort of, take a pinch of the mindset of a current pro player in yourself, Aga. When you get to these situations, whether it be a FUT Champions game or a qualifying match, you got a 3-goal cushion. What changes in you on the winning? It's a case of you're not going to time waste because you're not breaking any rules and such, but at the same time, you don't really need to score many more goals. It's a case of trying to keep possession, but keep possession in the right way.
Yeah, exactly. And then you shouldn't be like too defensive minded unless it's like the last 10 minutes, in my opinion. You should still make your opponent feel that he has to defend. You still gotta make your opponent focus on not conceding. And there, I think we got a goal. I couldn't really see it here on the stream. I think Neissat just sealed out the game, Brandon.
Yeah, I think he did with that celebration there. With 2 fingers in the air again. That completely just jumped for us there. Neissat, I believe, just booked himself another goal, which means he will be booking himself a place in that loser bracket grand final. He's just been focused throughout this whole matchup, and fair play to him. His first ever tournament of the FIFA 21 year. He said he qualified for a FUT Champions Cup late FIFA 20. It's not just him. There's a couple of players from Israel that have really been making a name for themselves. As I said, he might not have made the broadcast yet, but someone else that deserves a mention is Yuval Belli, currently 8th on the Xbox ranking, 658 Global Series ranking points to his name. He literally gets like 1 or 2 games off broadcast events. But there you go, you can see it's a 5-goal cushion now, Aga. And again, what a performance. A performance to remember.
Yeah, it's been solid from Neissat, controlled. He's been calm and collected, and yeah, Collin had to try and still have to try, but that would eventually be the consequence if he couldn't get some goals in. There would be some space for Neissat to attack, and he's been doing that, and I think overall it's pretty deserved that Neissat is going through to the next round. He's been the better player in these 2 legs.
Yeah, he has been. He's been more clinical when he is needed to be. Also, one more. Why not? Round it out with another goal. There you go. Bundle Collin, goalkeeper off the line. But we have to talk about this. Anyone, and I repeat, anyone that makes it to the final 6 to get on a broadcast, wherever that is around all the regions. I know different regions have different spots as well. In South America, it's the top 4. If you get that far, it's absolutely remarkable. So a huge congratulations for even making it this far. Of course, this is our loser quarterfinal in the bracket. The winner goes through, so technically the loser semi-final, I should say. Neymar, little juggle. Why not a little cheeky chip? Neymar into R9. He's just dancing now and enjoying himself, and why shouldn't he be? Neissat, seconds of real life time, minutes of in-game FIFA time, away from booking a place in that loser semi-final. Congratulations to him. What a run he's had in the loser bracket. First ever outing in a Global Series tournament this year on FIFA 20. He can dance around Petr Cech. Why won't he? R9 into the back of the net. And it's one of those. It's not going to mean too much for him, Aga, but a performance that he should be very proud of.
Definitely. Talking a bit about the mental game as well. I mean, he concedes very early, so he only have a 1-goal lead. And instead of bowing to the pressure and having troubles, he just stays calm, get the goal, so we have a 2-goal lead, and after that he just seals out the game. That's champion material. Looking forward to see him play again. We also saw in the FUT Champions Cup 1 that Oli Bolli went all the way from the loser bracket and won the entire thing. Perhaps we could see it with Neissat here. Yeah, we certainly could indeed. What a run he's had, as I said. Went through that loser, the loser round in the qualification, taking out big names, the likes of Benny CR7, ex-Lenny, Oli Lito, and a lad Bundle Collin onto that list. Commiserations to Bundle Collin. He goes out of qualifier number 2. Into loser semi-final, though, on the other side for that man from Israel. Huge congratulations. What performance. And
As we said, he came in 2-0 down. Collin started so well. That first 30 minutes in that second leg, started the game so well. Created so many chances, Aga, and I'm sure we'll be looking back on that in a day or two time and thinking, just if I had that chance and I put it into the back of the net, could have been a 2-2 scoreline and it could have been a different game.
Yeah, I feel like Collin started out the best of these two players in both of the legs, but just couldn't find the last pass, the last decisive angle to score. And maybe he just got readed by Neissat, who just adapted to how he attacked, how he defended, and found the place and the angles to seal out the game.
Yeah, a really, really impressive performance. And again, for Collin, what does he take from this? Because he's made a broadcast. As I said, it's so difficult to make a top 6 across any region this year in the Global Series. He's not going to walk home empty-handed. He's got a lot of experience to go away with, Global Series points, and a little bit of prize money. So he has got something to walk away with this tournament, hasn't he, Aga?
Definitely. I mean, it's a very good thing to build further on for Collin. I mean, he's in a good spot on the FIFA ranking, and he got the prize money, got a great experience here. Things look very good for him. He's a part of the generation coming up, and he can be very proud of his performance.
Yeah, he should be very proud of that. Of course, as we said, Collin out the tournament, but Neissat, I should say, books a place into that loser semi-final. We're going to throw it back to Jimmy, Spencer and Mike, who will be joined by that winner. It's time.